everybody, and welcome back to Astroneer with your friend Kuros Paladin. And normally I don't have to have my Astroneer like he's depressed and staring at the ground, but it's just because there's nowhere I can put the cursor without him staring at it at the moment. But anyhow, so we're back here in the save, and I have done a lot of work in the production base. Probably close to 10 hours of work. What have I done? Well, I have two auto-thumpers running over here, and this one is almost finished. That one's on quartz, that one's on sphalerite, and then I have another one over here, and it is running and picking up laterite, and the laterite and quartz are almost done in full. And what I want to show off is how I'm taking care of all of these cars not interfering with each other. So over here, there, that car is going, and it just basically requested, you'll see if I can catch up, it's going to flip this switch, which it just did. And oh look, that one's coming too. That was, oh, I could not have timed that better. Now here's the thing, that quartz just wandered off. That aluminum will sit there and wait until the quartz comes back. Is that inefficient? Yeah, it's a bit inefficient because I'm holding up that entire block with the quartz car at the moment. However, even though the auto-thumpers can run for about 4 minutes before they fill up, and I'm really not that concerned about efficiency. There's plenty of laterite, there's plenty of quartz. Sphalerite, this deposit is nowhere near as large as I thought it would be. And the sphalerite quartz setup is the same exact thing, that this car would wait until that quartz car comes back. Now, I think I showed this off in another special episode, but I'll just show what I'm doing again. Basically, I'm using an AND gate, and that AND gate is triggered by this post. So here we go. We've got the quartz car coming back. So watch. As soon as that car clears that post, it's going to flip this switch. Watch. It'll flip that other switch to on, or off, I'm sorry, off. And then, look, the aluminum went. So now, what happened? Here's what's going on. This I keep calling them mileposts. Rail post. Flips this switch right here. So it turns it off. And what that means is this is not currently occupied by a train that came in from that direction. Okay? Think of it that way. It also, if you follow this segment, comes over here and flips this switch on. So what that did is it kept this on, and then basically what it's saying is it's reserving the state and telling the other turnout that, hey, you're not clear to go yet. And then the other switch is basically a request. Hey, can I go? If they're both okay, then what happens is it will send to this to turn it on. Because at the end is a power sensor for... actually, this one is incorrectly set. It should be on. I'm surprised it worked, to be honest. Yeah, that one is properly set. So when it gains power, it actually flips the switch. And then when that aluminum comes back, here it comes, that car comes back, the switch is left and maintained in the same state it was when the aluminum car left. And it will just stay that way until another segment has both set to true. Now, I also do that over here, and what's beautiful about Astroneer and the rail posts is even the end rail post, the rail head, that's what we would call a rail head, when the car arrives at the rail post, the rail head, it triggers. And when it leaves, it triggers. So it's the same as if though it had passed over it. So I can, thankfully, in this very crowded space you can see here, have both a rail both auto-thumpers going and yet still maintain this junction exactly like the other junction is being maintained. So you can see the same thing here. So right now, what's going on is I am not requesting to go, but if I did request to go, the other turnout is clear. And when I do clear that, or when I do trigger this, that is when the car leaves, it will, as you can see, come over here, and it will flip this one and say, you are not allowed to go. So, that's how it works. Now, where is this all going? Well, this is all going to the new base that I built the rail out to. So I'm going to follow. This is a very long, convoluted route here. But it was just what I got to work. Come on. There we go. I just want to get that. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go back up here. And I messed up. I realized right after I finally got everything in place, I messed up. You can see also it went down right where one of the cauldranga was. In fact, I moved the cauldranga and its platform over there. So I screwed up. I intended for this to go out and have a junction and then go down from the junction so that I could have this station here service both above ground and below ground. That ain't going to happen now because I screwed up. So what I'm going to do instead, and I'm starting to prepare, is I'll just have an above ground station. And it will just be over here. So what happens when everything gets here? This station is set to, it does not stop cars because there's nowhere for them to go. It's a terminal. It really is. It's not even a station. It's a terminal. So the car will stop regardless. And then when it does stop, it is set to unload cars. There is, you may have saw on each of the rail cars, or actually on the large storage on each of the rail cars, a storage sensor, which triggers when it is either completely full or completely empty. When it is completely full, it triggers and the rail car moves and it comes up here. When it unloads, the sensor triggers, it's completely empty, it triggers the rail car and it goes back. It unloads to this large storage with this medium storage on it, and then this auto arm will pick it up and take it away. Now, to conserve energy, because we should all conserve energy, right? This auto arm doesn't have to be on all the time. What it is doing at the moment is it's hooked up to that storage sensor. And that storage sensor is just saying, does this storage have anything on it? And if it does, then trigger. So that's when the thing is down. So I'll actually pretend something showed up. Boom. And you can see it triggered. And then it will turn the auto arm on. And then the same idea continues on down here. That will also do the same thing. And then we can take this and put it there, and it picks up my sphalerite again. And then, of course, when it's empty, it turns it off. Now there's a delay repeater set to 25. That way the auto arm has a chance to get rid of what it just picked up if it was the last thing. It does mean it takes 25 cycles for it to turn on, however. But anyhow, the whole idea here is this can be automated because this will then feed into my preferred storage system, and I have plenty of space here to go. I don't want to get rid of this because I like leaving the little natural things, but I may end up having to get rid of that. So there we go. This took me a lot of time to set up because I also went back and forth to Glacio, and I did a couple of things over there. I went back to Calidor. I did a couple things there. But in general, this is what I got set up. Now, I used this extended platform for two reasons. One, I had it. because you get it as a reward. And I wanted to give a little bit of space between the terminal and the actual sorting facility. So this gives me a little bit of space. As you all know, I like my bases to be a little bit spread out. I like them to not be so claustrophobic. The next thing that's going to be different about this particular sorting facility is I want to get as many of the portable smelters as possible. Although I say as many, 8 should be more than sufficient. That would be more efficient than what I currently use with 3 full smelters. I can have up to 8 things smelting at once, as opposed to just 3 with the current way. 8 actually will probably be too many. I don't think I can even feed stuff to it that fast. I think it's about 5 that would fill up before the first of the 5 filled up. So 5 should be more than enough. The additional 3 just there in case. But that would allow the smelting process to occur much more efficiently. And the smelters will probably be on, there's platform 1, platform 2 would be here, platform 3, it would probably be on 3. Because usually what I do with my setup is I have what I call the big 3. This is not the big 3 right now, but my big 3 are resin, compound, and organic. That's the big 3. And even though you rarely need 400 organic, why not, right? The next 3 would be something like quartz, graphite, and I mean I could cheat and look at the Astropedia, the stuff that doesn't have to be smelted. Ammonium, graphite, and I'm looking, quartz. So if it isn't graphite, then it would probably be Astronium. But Astronium I'll probably put in its own little thing. Then the next bits, clay, hematite, laterite, malachite, wolframite, sphalerite, those would not even be stored. They would immediately be smelted. Well, yeah, once in a while you need the raw, but it's rare that you need them. Because then the next 3 platforms after that would be these 9 right here. Even though carbon carbon and glass both come from organic and quartz, and I'm storing a lot of them, it's still nice to have a large portion of them. So really what would happen is I'd probably keep the organic and quartz really low and let the glass and carbon get really high. And then beyond that, my atmospheric resources and composite resources. And the composite, as you can see, is another 4 platforms. So we're looking at 4 plus 3, which is 7, plus I already forgot 1, 2, 3. So 10 platforms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. That's 5 here. So 15 platforms. That's a lot of platforms. So it may even do a curve. It might do a U-turn, because I don't think I can get 15 platforms. So I could probably get maybe 7. Got to top off an O2. Didn't even notice that. But anyhow, the other thing I noticed with my setup, by the way, is I am straining power in this save at the moment here on Silva. I have 4 auto extractors running at the moment with 4 auto arms that are currently on. So that's 40 U that's being pulled or drawn at any moment. So that 4th one, just to let you know, is the auto thumper back at the main home base. That is pulling up the ammonium. That was right next to the base. That is actually almost finished. In fact, when I last checked on it, let's say an hour game time ago, it was at about 300, so it should be pretty darn close to being full at this point. So let's head back and find out. By the way, you can see my personal transport. I used to have all the rail cars behind it. I've used them all for the sorting for that production facility. So over here I saw thump, so it's not full yet. So yeah, it's pretty darn full. 356 out of 400. So probably another 60. What is it? 46 And, it's just under a minute per, so let's say 32, 33 minutes for this to finally fill up, I'm going to guess. Maybe not by the end of this episode, but certainly very close. What else was I doing between episodes? As I said, made a lot of trips back to Glacio. I needed to get a ton of exo chips because of all the darn auto extractors. I also needed to get a ton of, well, not a ton, but I needed to get a lot of nanocarbon alloy for all of the darn large storage canisters. And I also was very short on aluminum, so I was doing a lot of hunting for aluminum. I also, as you may have noticed, I don't even think I showed you, I can't remember if I showed in the last episode or not, that I cleaned up the other base. Remember all the debris that was laying around there? It's all gone. And believe it or not, I had 8 extra scrap sitting here. Now I'm down to 25. So I went through a lot of scrap as well, trying to get enough aluminum for the rail posts and the auto arms and all that other stuff. So, wow, that was a lot to catch up on, wasn't it? So, let's go check on the status of everything else. I'm going to head back to Glacio and check on the auto-thumpers over on Glacio, because there is the bug where unattended between saves, they tend to stall. And you just have to pick them up and put them back down, and then all of a sudden they start working again. So let's go make certain my hematite extractor and my graphite extractor are still working over here. And that will get me really close to a lot of the main resources I need, large quantities of them. Particularly titanite and hematite for the titanium and iron. Graphite will also be very useful for graphene. So, alright, there's my... Come on, it doesn't matter which one I land at. So, yep, right there, this one's stalled, you can see. So let's pick it up and drop it back down so that it resumes what it was doing. Oh, I don't like that. I want it nice and straight. Yeah, well, it's not going to happen. Alright. Let's go check on our hematite one. In fact, it looks like it is stalled because I don't see the little green, which would indicate the amount of the deposit that's remaining. Yep, that one's stalled too. So let's go ahead. We'll just pick it up, put it back down. There we go. Okay. Where are we at with that one? 387. Holy cow. That one should be done really darn soon. Oh, I got the neighbor there. I forgot about that. The graphite shouldn't be anywhere near that. But let's go. I forgot to check what it was. So, oh, popsicle. Research popsicle. And, oh, bubblegum. Okay. So, where are we at with graphite? 256. Okay. Nice power of 2 there. So, got a lot going on and accomplished a lot. So, I did not record anything that I did because I just figured it really was a lot of boring stuff, what I had to do. So, if you are interested in knowing a little bit more about what I did, I mean, I can let me know in the comments below. But you pretty much saw what I did. I put that rail in and the junctions, put the auto-thumpers down, got the cars going, and I started the sorting facility. So my next steps. I want to also get going on some other resources. When that ammonium one is done, the next thing I want to start in on is actually lithium. Because lithium is where I'm going to be able to start doing a lot of RTGs, and I'm going to need a lot of RTGs. That does mean setting up a auto-thumper over on Novus or Vasania. So that means most likely more RTGs. Well, it will mean RTGs. station itself, the auto thumper that I can reuse from the ammonium, the auto arm that I can reuse. I can reuse a lot, but the RTGs I need more because I am stressing Silva's power requirements at the moment. The other ones that I would like to get that are nice to get are going to be where is it? It is there. It is. No, not wolframite. Malachite. Yeah, malachite. Because I am going to need copper. Because I'm going to need copper is essential for all the logic stuff, especially power switches and power sensors. Power sensor. No, I can't remember. Which one was it that it's used for? So, yeah, power sensors and the power switches. That's it. The power switch, which I can never remember where those are at. Right here, power switch. And those are going to be essential. This particular save, I'm not going to go so far as to do my block protection on my rails. I know I'm really excited about it, and I'm really proud of coming up with the block protection system. I just don't see a need for it yet. However, if I do have long haul track that comes back to that production facility that's automated, I may have to put in some automated switches, and instead of block protection, maybe I can come up with something else, and I'll have to think about it. So, anyhow, let's. I've got a little bit of time, so I do need to get. As I said, excuse me, I had a little bit of a burp there, so I apologize if you heard that. What I would like to do next is find out where I can get a good amount of lithium. So I have plenty of beacons, but I don't have handy any. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, build a beacon, and I'm going to head off to Visania, which is where I think I had some rudimentary base stuff going on, and see if I can find there a lithium deposit. And then I'll put the beacon down at the lithium deposit. I had to say Visania, yes, Visania, is probably my least favorite planet in the game. All it really has to offer is lithium. And getting to it is just such a pain in the tush. Because for whatever reason, Visania's exterior crust is so darn thick. And you just keep drilling down and down and down. I've already got through that, but at least I think I did. Yeah. But of course, if I'm going to put rail, it's, even more. So, alright. Whoa. Okay. So, well, look at that. There's lithium right there. But is this a worthwhile deposit for? No. How many? Oh, I have plenty of tethers. Let's send some tethers through this little tunnel and because I think I have a vague recollection that I did find something over here for lithium. Yep, there it is right there. I see it. So let me get whatever tethers I can this way. Because I am going to run out before I get all the way to it. But at least the tethers will lead me a little bit closer to it. So let me make certain there isn't something closer. Because, focus on that and then you forget what you're not looking around. The popsicles here on Visania just don't taste as good either. Okay, so I have this deposit here. I hope this is a good one. Worthy of a auto-thumper. So what color do I want for lithium? Red's good. Really quick, but I don't want to... Forgive me, I don't have a mute button or a cough button. Oh. Let me get over here and give me just a moment, folks. I am terribly sorry. Oh, I am terribly sorry. Sorry about that, folks. I may have put in just a little amusing thing to fill in that time, but sometimes I forget when I'm rendering to go back and actually verify. I do things that I say I'm going to do, like, you know I've said a lot of times, oh yeah, I'll put a little photo over here, and then never do it. So, terribly sorry. Okay, so I got that lithium over there. Excellent. What I would like to also do, and it looks like there is lithium right here too. Gonna grab a little bit because I should get a couple more RTGs. I can grab 2 more. Okay. Ding, ding. That's such a pleasing one. I like the lithium one. It's just a pleasing little ding, ding. Okay, that's not gonna work. Let's just take you and... Come on, just get... Oh, nope. Alright, now it should work. There we go. Alright, and we'll take this research back to Silva. Yeah, sorry about that delay. It was kind of funny because I started in on the coughing fit, and then just as I wanted to go for my water, the cat started going for my water. I love my cat. I love my cat, Dax. I love her. I love her. I love her. But oh my gosh, she's one of those cats that whenever there's water nearby, she's got to check it out. She's got to check it out. So it was like a perfect comedy of everything coming together at the same moment. Alright, so I've got my lithium deposit identified that I hope will work well. If it doesn't do well, then I'll have to go find another one. Alright, so plans for future episode. Continue to build out the production facility on Silva. That is the green base that I'll actually be passing over. Well, no, maybe not. Okay. Oh, that's a different save. Yeah, I have so many saves. I have way too many saves. But... Oh, hey! Ha ha! Yeah, I forgot. The abandoned platforms actually act as landing sites now. Well, not a big deal. Okay. I had to come back here anyhow because I needed to pick up my rover. So we'll just drop that off there. Our climate-controlled pilot seat for our rover. I like how you can attach the gravity sphere and drive with it. So that's just kind of a cool little thing. I'm curious if anything happened while I was gone. So is there additional sphalerite? Nope, there's still just one. So where are we at? Only 64 quartz and 160 laterite. Just gonna go check on them because part of it is OCD, and oh, I gotta check it out. So, yep, the laterite is, look at that, it's almost full already. Yeah, one more, and then it'll be full. Wow. So that means the quartz is probably really darn close too. If I could actually, I need to flatten this out so I stop doing that. Come on, there. So, it's difficult to see. Yep, it only has one more. So, and the sphalerite, Okay, so I have a problem here with the sphalerite. Quartz just wandered off. So the problem is... Oh, it's waiting. That's why. It's waiting, and I have the switch incorrectly set. Okay. So I'm glad I was down here, because that switch that I just turned on needed to be set on. So... It doesn't look like it was waiting too long because it just completely filled the auto extractor. So wow, I'm going to have 3 in a row going here. So that's another thing is right now, if I go back up, right now it's just that large storage with 4 medium storage on it. Eventually that's going to be a tall storage silo with 12 medium storage on it. That way cars can unload almost immediately, because 12 times 8 is 96. That is 3 rail cars worth right there. And the odds of, filling up on 3 are pretty darn low. This is like a perfect storm right now. All 3 of them showing up almost 1, 2, 3. So we'll see in just a few moments here. The laterite one will show up, but it will take a little while to unload because this auto arm can only go so fast. I should look into the possibility of having 2 auto arms just to speed things up. I think I've seen people do that before, or even multiple, I should say. So, how far are you going to get along before that laterite shows up? There it is. So there's the laterite. And then after it completely unloads, which will unfortunately take a little while, because auto arm can only go as fast as it can go. Once it is complete, then it will take off, and then the sphalerite will show up. And I also need to get a large amount of resin, a large amount of compound. So those will be here on the surface. Oh, I am sorry. Folks, another problem I have is with the surgery, weird things with my my mouth. So there we go with the laterite. In addition to lithium mining, I do want to get resin and compound going, and those will come to here, and that will be my surface terminal, which will be right over here. And then an auto arm will probably feed from the terminal will probably be more like right here, and then I'll have an auto arm that feeds to this right here. And this should be more than enough to handle unloading of stuff. So I wanted a choke point or whatever, a funnel point leading into all of this. So that's why I have that. In fact, the other auto arm may actually come in at an angle as opposed to a right angle. An angle. Okay. At a non-right angle. How about that? So, alright, where's my sphalerite? There it is! So, folks, it looks like it's working exactly as I intended it to. And this is just awesome because automation, really, it made Astroneer such a different game. You can see I really enjoy playing with it. So you just have to, don't stand. I'm thinking, don't stand over here. Don't stand in the blue circle, because of course the auto arm will drop stuff off on my little Astroneer's backpack. So, all right. So it looks like one more, two more. So last one, boom, and there it goes. So it looks like everything's working exactly as intended. So that will give me plenty of sphalerite, because I will need zinc. Zinc is another important component for automation. And the quartz. So I'm getting those 3 here for automation. I'm going to get the resin, which is abundant, Compound, which is abundant. In fact, compound is right here. So I'll probably set up an auto thumper on that. And then resin, I've got one over here that might work. I didn't put a beacon down on it, but I do remember during my off-camera period, I found just like a massive field on the surface of resin, and I can't remember where it was, but it would have been perfect for an auto thumper. So, but there's a couple of deposits nearby for resin. This one looks like it might be a really good one right there. And same thing, I'll have the logic to switch out so that cars don't clash with each other. I'm going to do that also between episodes because setting it up, as I said, takes a long time. It's a lot of time of just sitting there and watching stuff print and carrying stuff back and forth and back and forth and yada yada yada. I mean, just so in fact, speaking of carrying stuff back and forth, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. We're going to take this back to the main base, but I'm going to use my pass through the spine of the world. So, in fact, if I had really been thinking, I would have taken the rover back and then just called coal back to the other station, but oh well. That's another reason I like to keep my passenger and freight lines separated, because that call car might not do what you wanted it to. It's like, oh yeah, I need a car, and then you pulled a car that was part of your automation. And you're like, oh boy, now what? So, I think I've talked for a lot. Didn't really do a lot this episode. I have no idea why I went back this way. But anyhow, gonna work on getting that other facility that I'm headed towards right now to be fully automated, or not fully automated, expanded to include more platforms for more auto thumpers, so that I can start doing my compound, my resin, and whatever else I may want to grab. Clay is another one that I like to grab. And that would be a long haul one, because clay is freaking... I don't know why it's so rare, but it is. So, alright, I'm almost back to the base, and when I get there, we'll end the episode. Why? I don't know. I just like to be, I don't like to be driving while I say bye. So... and looks like the Halloween event is still going. I forgot how many more days it's going. If there is a holiday event coming up, Christmas event, I don't know how much of it I'm going to be able to do. Reason being is I'm going away for 3 weeks over Christmas. And unfortunately, 2 of the games I really love playing, I usually miss out on their events, Astroneer and City of Heroes, because they usually start their event at the beginning of December and then end at the end of December, and I'm going to be gone for 3/4 of that. So I usually don't get a lot of time to do the holiday stuff. But so if you see me putting stuff out over the holidays and it's before the holidays, it's because I recorded it in November. So everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, I hope you had a great time, and I will see all of you in the next episode of Astroneer. Take care and bye.